Hello, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Just gonna wait a second for you guys to sign in. Hello, Caroline. I'm glad you guys are here today. Wednesday, sun came out. Did you guys notice that the sun comes out on art days? Because I did, and I'm pretty excited about that. I think there's some kind of correlation. Welcome. I see a lot of people. Hello, Nathan. Hello. Some of the handles and stuff I don't know. So if I'm not saying your name, hello to you. Hi, Haley. Hi, Cadence. Miss you guys. Let's see. Welcome. Crafty again. Okay. Hi. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Damien. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to kind of start right away because I usually sign on a couple minutes early, and I signed on exactly at 12:30. Coming a slacker in these stay-at-home days. Just kidding. So today we're going to talk about, I've been trying to avoid doing all the germ type kind of stuff, but I saw something fun online, and I'm giving a shout out to whoever the teacher was, but I actually don't know. So but shout out to you, whoever you are, who had this cute idea. So today we're going to do a painting, and you can do it a couple different ways. So we're going to talk about germs and how they spread, and we're going to spread paint in the same kind of way. And so one example that I did is, he really kind of goes this way, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. We're going to do fun different types of germs and talk about how they spread, and you can kind of see these little tentacle kind of spreading, sharing with each other that we don't necessarily want at this time, of course. So you can do something fun like that where it's a little more animated. It also reminds me, some of you know the book, The Scribble, and it's cute. It talks about primary colors, so it just has red, yellow, and blue. And it's something similar to this. And I did something with, I want to say first grade, but we read the little book and we did cute little blobs. They weren't germs at the time. They were just, we were mixing primary colors. But now we're 2 months into staying at home, so we are on to germs, people. And how not to spread them. For those of you who are a little, don't want something so maybe animated or kind of cartoon-like, you can do something like this today with me, where we will just make a piece of art where we'll start like this and we'll do the same idea, but no eyes and no cartoon kind of characters. And then I did this half already that I've kind of finished up, where I've added black Sharpie or black pen, any kind of marker or whatever. It doesn't have to be black. It could be any color. And I kind of created a fun piece of art, but with that same idea of spreading and mixing colors. And it's almost like you're looking for my older artists, for my older creative artists. It almost looks like you're looking under a microscope at some kind of bacteria or germ spreading kind of thing, or just a cool kind of funky piece of art. Either way. So we're going to do that today. And hopefully you have the materials, which is just some kind of paint or watercolor. You could have made your own liquid watercolor or just regular cake watercolors. We can do that with today. I'm going to show you how to do it just with regular cake paints. And a straw. You do need some type of straw to blow it. If you don't have a straw, mine's a bendy, which is actually great because when I do it, I actually bend it and like blow through. But you don't have to have a bendy straw. It can be any kind of straw. If you only had one straw and you have 3 kids, maybe you cut it in different pieces. That's fine too. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Alia. Bunch of people joining. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're all here. So we're talking germs, people. And we all know all about germs right now, right? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And some germs are good. Some germs are, obviously there's ones that are not good. We've seen that, of course. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to start our artwork, and we're going to talk about kind of how they spread and do some nice reminders of washing our hands and all that kind of fun stuff. You have a fat bubble tea straw. I wish I had a fat bubble tea right now that I would drink with your straw. That will totally work. Any kind of straw, that's fine. If you don't have a straw, you could try doing it just blowing the paint it's a little more difficult. When you have the straw, of course, you're going to be able to control where you're blowing. And that's really why I'm using a straw. But if you don't have a straw, you can still do this today with us. Make sure that you do have some kind of white piece of paper or any piece of paper that's not too dark of color that your paints will show up on, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get my white piece of paper ready. I'm actually going to put a couple black sheets down too. And I'm going to turn the camera, okay? And we will get started. All right, I'm glad you guys are here. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Isabel. Welcome, everybody. If I didn't give you a shout out, love you, miss you still. I just don't always know everyone's name or see it. Well, I know your real name, but I don't know necessarily the handle that you're under when you're on Instagram. All right, love you guys. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to get the camera ready. And I'm going to bring the tripod slightly closer. Let's make sure we can see good. And how's that look? Looking good. I got a lot of hearts. That means people can see. That sounds good to me. Okay. I'm going to slide my chair in. Looking good, peoples. All right. Now, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you again quickly what we're doing. Okay. So, the first one we're going to do is the one that actually looks like these kind of fun, kind of animated germs. Okay. And remember, to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. I know everyone has like these 20-second songs and all that kind of fun stuff. But of course at school we talk about that all the time. I even ask my 8th graders. They always laugh at me. But I'm like, did you wash your hands when they come back from the bathroom? And that was before all of this crazy world. I still did that. So it's obviously important to do that. And you can tell they spread. We're going to do something fun like this. It's just like kind of a fun piece of artwork with these fun little characters, okay? And remember, if you don't want to do it where it's like this kind of more youthful, animated, kind of fun cartoon like germ design, you can also have a more kind of mature, advanced piece of artwork that I can show you in the same way. You just won't draw the eyes, okay? You'll just do the same thing as us, but you won't do like the little, fun little eyes and all the little characters because you want it to be this kind of cool, abstract, kind of spread out, funky, cool piece of art, okay? So let's do it. So on your piece of paper, if you are starting, we're going to first do the one that is the animated one, okay, with our little guys' faces and stuff. Oops, I dropped my germs fax machine. I printed out something about bacteria and different types of germs. So I was educated on the germ school. All right, guys. So take your piece of paper, and I'm going to start just with a black marker. You can start in pencil, of course, first if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a couple fun eyes. So I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to make it nice and thick. I'm going to do another one next to it. They do not have to be the same. They can be fun and crazy and kooky. I'm going to put a little kind of googly eye inside of that. Let me go closer so you can see what I did. And here I'm going to make him have some eyebrows. He's a very angry germ. Or he's in question. I'm not sure if he's angry or he's just like, well, what's up with you? What's going on over there? All right, and so now I'm going to do another one. And so kind of just spread these out. As you see, I kind of have germs all over. And then when we blow the paint, it's going to start spreading, mixing colors, which is so fun. Love mixing colors. And you'll be able to, you want to make sure that you space them out on the paper, okay? So move this guy out of the way for a sec. And I'm going to do some other eyes. So this guy's going to have more of an oval-shaped eye. Hopefully you've started, whether you're in pencil or right to the marker. I'm going to have this guy have like really long, he's thinking a lot. And he has kind of these kind of fun zigzag eyebrows, okay? Let me go closer so you can see what I did there. Oops, my paper is folding, okay? And I'm going to do a couple more all over. I'm going to do one that's almost big googlies like this. And they're going to have big eyes like this. He's almost like a minion. And he's going to have these kind of eyebrows. And so I'm just doing eyes. It's almost like you're doing a ghost set in fall time or something. with just these kind of fun eyes. I'm going to have one that's more of a cyclops. Remember, cyclops has that one eye. So I'm going to do one with one eye. I'm going to keep flipping my paper. I'm going to do a guy over here. That's kind of a longer, it's not quite an oval, but it's also not quite a circle. It's going to be this long, it's a half and half. And I'm going to have him have eyeballs up here. He's looking that way. He's trying to get away from the other germs. He's like, get me out of here, man. I'm out of here. All right, so then he's going to have like rounded one because he's a kind guy. He's a sweet little, he's a curious little man. And then let's do one that they're kind of connected. So I'm going to do one that's kind of an oval and have two little beady eyes in there. And that looks cool to me. I like that. Now, what I also did is I later on added a second line. Can you see this? Around where I left my white negative space on the inside. But I'm going to do that later once it's dry. I also added little kind of germ tentacles in black. You can kind of see those later on. I'll show you how to add that too. But I don't do that yet. I'm only going to start with the eyes, and now I'm going right to the paint. Okay, guys? Let's do it. So, I'm going to stand up a little, make a little more space for myself. Now, when you're blowing through the straw, you really want to make sure that that you're not getting, that you kind of rotate your paper and you get all the different angles. So I'm going to show you all of that right now. I almost want to put a board. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, I'm going to put this little board underneath so that you can see better without the black paper. Because I feel like if I use the black paper, it's going to bleed all over the place once I get it wet. So I'm going to swap that out. Make sure you have something underneath your artwork so that when it blows, if it runs off the edge of your paper, it doesn't get all over the dining room table, okay? So, or wherever you are. Now I have a bunch of paints, and you can kind of see I'm using these kind of cake paints. You can use any kind of paint. You can use real, like acrylic paint. That's fine. You can use something like that. I might water it down a little so it blows nicely. You can use regular kind of cake watercolors. You can use liquid watercolors. And if you have no watercolors, you could just use a fun marker and draw the same idea, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it by blowing it right now just for fun's sake, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to get a paintbrush and you're going to get a bunch of water. So I'm going to start with this kind of magenta color, okay? And I'm going to go in my water a bunch because I do want a lot of the pigment. Remember, the pigment is the color, okay? But in a watercolor cake, you have pigment, but you also need to have water to activate that paint. So you want to have kind of a watered consistency. And what I'm going to do is slowly kind of just tap my watery paintbrush around the edge. And I'm going to go back into the water and kind of spread it out, maybe a little into my paint, into my pigment. And I'm kind of creating that shape around my eyes, okay? I'm going to lift it up carefully because I don't want to drip it. Make sure you do not pick yours up right now. I'm doing that just so you can see it nice. I'm going to add a little more water because the water is what's going to make the pigment spread like a germ spread, right? So we're gonna use that water to spread right now. Now I'm gonna take my straw. If it's bent, you can do something like this. If you have a bendies are fun. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but you need to get low. So what I'm gonna do right now is show you, if this was my table, I want to be almost equal with it, and I'm gonna go, and you see what happened? It starts to spread. So I'm gonna get real low right now, and I'm gonna rotate my paper all the way around. And I'm going to allow my germ or my paint, my wet paint, to kind of spread. And when I press air, when I blow air through my straw, it really allows me to do that. So go ahead and try that if you haven't tried it yet. I'm going to go this way too. And if you get real low, if you see little pockets of water, you really can. Look at how that guy spread very nice. Look at how cute he is. He's kind of an angry germ, but I don't know. I'm sure there's nice germs too, but most germs seem not very nice to me right now. To most of us, I guess. So go back in your water. I'm going to go ahead. Now, if you are actually, before you do that, if you're one of the people who are not doing little germ faces, but you want to just start like this, you literally are doing the same thing. You just make a puddle and blow it out. And I used all warm colors in this one. You could do whatever color scheme you like, but I did all warm colors just so that I had some type of consistency in my artwork. I just kind of felt like going with warm, just because I like those colors and I want the sun to come out and shine. So if you're doing that, you can keep going, but don't worry about the faces. You're just kind of blowing all fun colors and let them start spreading, okay? But for our germ people, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to go to another color. I'm going to dab my brush off. I'm going to dab my brush off. And I'm going to do, what color would I like to do? I'm going to do some hot pink first. I'm going to stick with the pinks. If you want to start with the lightest colors first, you definitely can. I know I typically show you how to start painting something with, like, if we were going to use lots of colors, I might use a yellow first. Something lighter, because you can always go darker over. It's harder to go lighter, of course, over a dark color. So I'm just adding some water and making sure it's kind of almost puddled. And I'm going to take my straw and rotate my paper. Let's make another germ. Here we go, people. This is the curious guy. He's like, who are you guys? Do I need my Clorox wipes? My hand sanitizer? Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm rotating. Anywhere that I see some type, I don't know if you can see close up, but oh, there you go. There's puddles of paint. And when I do that, those are where I'm going to start blowing. Okay. Could you go back later and add more paint on there and blow again if you didn't like the area? Yes. Of course you can. Like, oops, I got a little pink right there. That's okay. You get some pink where you didn't want it, or whatever color where you don't want it. That's fine. Just keep going. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit more in that pink because I kind of wanted something right here and I didn't get anything. So I might dab a little more wet pink paint and go ahead for it. Go it. And those little tracks, just like germs, how they spread, they keep reaching out. So if you want and you still have more liquid at the very end, you can take your straw and keep blending into another area. That's fine. This guy kind of didn't want to blend into his face, but that's okay. It's just like germs, spreading, spreading, spreading. Now, has everyone been washing their hands? 20 seconds. You have a song. Does anyone have a song they sing? I know a lot of people have fun songs that they have either created or just a song they sing just to know. I know originally we always did the ABCs. I know that was a thing always. It's just sing the whole alphabet. So I'm going to go around this guy. I'm going to go a little closer. I kind of want his eye to have less room. Okay, I'm going to go like this. Okay, and I'm going to add some more paint, a little more pigment, and definitely some more water. Okay, so I'm going to go back in my water because I need that water to spread my germ. Here he comes. Okay, and you'll start to see, okay, maybe I mixed a little orange with my pink. That's awesome. If you're having a difficulty or a difficult time spreading the paint, get lower, get closer, almost parallel with your paper. Have your straw almost be parallel with your paper so that you can really get in there. I know my third graders are going to know how to do this because we made Chinese lanterns this year, which they never even got to be displayed. It's breaking my heart. We never did our whole cool thing with our Chinese dragon, all of it. Like, it was all done and ready to hang up, and then we had to go home. And now we're still at home. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to do it, but it was the first time I did lanterns a little different this year. And you guys know who are in third grade. But we took straws and we blew black ink And then we made little kind of cherry blossoms on our lanterns. They are so stinking cute. I can't even take it. There's so many projects this year that are killing me that we're not having an art show. I don't even know. Like 8th grade made these beautiful bowls for the first time I've ever done it. It was very frustrating the first week. Most of them heard me raise my voice more than I've ever have. Because everybody needed help. It was a lot of work, but they're gorgeous. So I've been glazing those. So any 8th graders who are on, or if you know an 8th grader, I'm secretively glazing them and firing them. But I got permission from the school. I'm not like secretively, but I'm secretively from you guys. So that when you pick up your artwork, it's going to be all beautiful. Well finished and gorgeous. So you guys built the pottery, but I did, we just chose colors and kind of painted on top, glazed them, and then they're firing them because couldn't give them back half done. That was just devastating to an art person. Okay, what other color? Let's go purple, people. Or how about blue? Like a teal. I like the teal. Let's do some teal. Is everyone blowing? How's everyone doing? I'm having a difficult time keeping my bookends from falling. Bookends? What do you have bookends for? What is that about? Are you doing art? Are you reading a book? Are you cleaning your bookshelf? What's happening? Is your bookends holding your paper in place? I don't know. Every time I look at what people are doing, I don't know if you guys are doing art or you're just hanging out with me. Either way, it's cool to me. Don't mind. You can just follow along. All right, I'm going again. Going for it, people. And you'll start to notice you can really kind of control where your colors are spreading, where your germs are going. Just like in real life, you can do that because you can keep your hands clean. Certain things like, of course, before you eat food, make sure you wash your hands. When you come inside from playing outside, go wash your hands. When you use the washroom, go wash your hands. Okay, I'm going to keep going. But you start to see these fun kind of doodle sprinkle. Hold on, this guy's not blowing good. There we go. Some kind of fun little tentacles spreading out. Love this. Whoever the cute teacher who I hijacked this art project from, thank you again. I'm giving you another shout out, even though I should have probably paid attention to where I found it. But I didn't. And I just thought it was so stinking cute that I'm like, we're doing it. Fine, I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm going to do some purple over here. I'm going to go around my eyes. I'm going to keep taking my watercolor, my paint. I'm just going around. Okay. Get some more water. Make sure you have enough water to blow it. Okay. If you had a lot of people in your family or a lot of kids in your family who are following along and you only had one straw, make sure that you cut that straw and you're not all sharing the same straw, because that would not be cool for germs, people. Okay, I'm going to spread some purple. Here we go. Okay. So you're just blowing out. Make sure you don't suck back in. Otherwise, you might suck some of that paint in. You don't want that. Okay. And you really, as long as you see a little puddle, you can really get back in there and create a little bit more fun and activity in your painting. Okay, so far so good. We're looking awesome. Look how cute that is. Love this guy. Are any of you doing the one without faces, where you're just doing kind of a fun, where you're just kind of splattering, like kind of blowing the paint out, but then you can add marker later and kind of redefine it? Okay. Hi, McKaylee. I was talking to your mom this morning. How's it going, pretty girl? Miss you. So I don't know if some of you are doing this style or not. If you are, oh, I see someone is. Oh, a few people are. That's great. I love it. I love that you're doing different styles. Fun. Okay. Good job, everybody. Because it is really challenging for Ms.A here to find things for every age level. And also, of course, make sure it's materials that everyone has at home. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's interesting because it is actually pretty challenging. So, but I've had fun doing it, so no complaints. As you guys know, my highlight of staying at home is my art stuff. So I hope you're having fun too. All right, I'm going to do a little yellow around here. Make sure you have some water. I'm going to kind of go around. I have a little bit of water to make sure I have enough to blow and spread my germ. Obviously, we don't really want to spread germs, but in our artwork, we can right now. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, that's fun. That spread into the other guy. I like that.
It's 12:57.
Thank you. Mia just gave me the time check. She's working over here. Now, this is amazing. So I have him done right now, okay? So now if you wanted to add other ones, you can. What I like to do is if you look at the first one I did, my example, I did take a black marker and outline in that around that negative space around the little eyes or face or eyebrows. Is it eyebrows or is it a mouth? Is it eyebrows or is it a mouth? I'm not sure. He kind of looks like it's a mouth in this case, right? Like he's like, durk, durk, durk. Anyway, whatever way you're doing it, I did outline that and add little tentacles. Now, it's better to do this when it's dry, but I'm going to do some right now just so that you can all see what happens next. Okay. So, if I was to add more, I might add some other little fun reachers with a little black marker or whatever color you like. And I'm really just drawing, let me show you close up, lines. Let's see if you can see one. Here's a good one. A line with a little circle on the end. Okay, lines with little circles. So you can do that all around. I'm also going to go around here and kind of outline, and you can make it thicker in some areas if you like, outline around where those eyes or his little face are, okay? Just for fun. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to kind of go around. It just adds a little bit more to it. You do not have to do this, but it's kind of fun. I'm going to add some more little feeler, reacher, germ kind of things. He's trying to get that guy. He's like, hey, I'm gonna germ you up over there, buddy. And maybe have one over here. Okay. So I'm just kind of adding these little black lines. Some are shorter, some are longer, however you like. And I'm kind of these little feelers. And it also adds more to your composition because you're filling in a lot of your negative space with those lines. So that's fun to do too. I'm going to go ahead and again start outlining where my color reaches. Maybe this guy's going to be a little thicker because I just want it to pop out a little more. So you can work with your weight of the line. Remember, we've talked about weight a lot. This one too. Actually, you know what? I'm going for it, people. I'm just making all these nice and thick, a nice thick weighted line. I actually have a new Sharpie because my Sharpies were running out. So this Sharpie is working very nice in a thinner manner. It just depends what state your Sharpies are in at this point or your markers. Because we've been using them for every project, I'm imagining they're probably like mine. And it's almost like you need new ones. You almost need some new ones, people. Okay, so I'm going to keep going right here. I'm going to go around that one, kind of pop him out. My Cyclops guy, he's a fun germ. And this one, this is a girl germ. She's very fancy. She has tea parties. And she likes fancy things. Oh, my marker went into the wet paint. If your marker goes in the wet paint, it might not work very good for a second. You can always wipe it off on a piece of paper. Let it dry out for a second. However you want. I'm going to add a couple more feelers. Maybe another guy over here. Okay. Now, in those feelers, we drew little circles at the end of them. See these little circles? If you want to, you can take a marker and color it in. You could use your paint. I'm matching it with the color. You could use a colored pencil. Like, let me find a pink colored pencil. Here's a pink. So I could take a pink colored pencil and color those little dots in. Because they're so small, you might want to stay away from your paint. You definitely could do it. But you can also fill those little colors in with marker or colored pencil too. You don't have to use paint in those cases. I'm going to get some orange. I'm going to color this guy's feelers in. Just so he looks like he's really still part of it. Kind of connecting the whole thing. I'm going to use a purple. I need a purple. I'm going to color this guy's purple. Oh, they're a little more magenta, but I like the difference in color. That's fun. That's fun. I like it. And actually, this one actually matches it. I probably should use this one for that color. Either way, still looks cool. Still liking it. Liking that a lot. I need some feelers on this guy. This guy doesn't have any. So my middle guy, if you forgot somebody, go back. Don't leave him out. Don't leave that guy out. He's like, hey, I'm trying to get you over there and you over there. So then find another color like that. I might find my kind of blues and add those colors in on those little circles on the ends of those little fun feelers. I also see that I left one of my purple ones not finished, so I'm going to go back. Over here, I left a purple guy. Very nice. Now, this is, for the most part, the end. What I would do, of course, as you guys know, I'm going to move this piece of paper for a second. I'm going to go right onto the white. And you know that I like to frame all the artwork. So you can take a marker, a thicker marker, or whatever you want. If you'd like to do this, you do not have to. And I'm going to go right over the edge. Whoops, that went a little rogue there. That's okay. You might want to wait till your paper is dry to do this, okay? And I'm going to fix my line. I'm going to make this line thicker because Ms.A went crazy with her framing. She's crazy, Matt. And I'm going to go here, do another one. I'm going to rotate my paper and go all the way around the edges so I kind of have this nice framed piece of artwork. And I'm going to do this final side. And, oops, I'm going to touch that final side up because it was a little sloppy slops. Oh, and right here I missed a spot. I'm going to go touch that up. Also, on this side, my marker seemed to be fading. So I'm going to fix that up too. And do that. Looking good. Okay, so now I have my finished piece of germ spreading artwork. Make sure to wash your hands. Okay, now, if you were someone who did this style, and if you didn't, you can do this later today. This is fun too, or maybe you're doing two at the same time. That's cool as well. But if you did one like this, and then you want to do the outlining, I'm going to show you once it's dry what to do. I left half of it finished so that you can see kind of where I was going with this. And you could still add more. Maybe in that negative space you add little Zentangles or polka dots or different designs. That's fun too. But if you have something like this and you didn't make it the animated germs, I'm going to show you right now how to just start outlining. So after you're finished with this, well, actually, you know what? Before you're finished with this, let me show you. If you're someone who wants to do this and you didn't understand, it's the same thing. If I was to take some of my paint, I'm going to take a little pink right here, and I'm going to go right here. How about right here? You just make a puddle, like a little circle, okay? Just a little puddle of paint. Take your straw, and you're going to blow it out. Same thing. I'm going to do it again. Rotate your paper. If you find a color like this one, this hot pink, right here, maybe I want to add a second coat on there. That's fine. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I want it darker. Especially with watercolors, they don't show up as dark sometimes. So you can easily take a little more paint, put it right on top after it dries. Take your straw. Oops, I just put my finger in my other wet paint. And do the same thing, blow again. This is really cool because at this point, you can start overlapping colors instead of them blending. You see, I started overlapping because my other areas were dry. So you can wait for some areas to be dry and then go add other colors, which is another fun effect. Okay? But once again, they are kind of still spreading in that kind of germ idea. But they also, it's really fun for art because it also spreads color mixing. It kind of has this fun idea. It almost looks like you're looking under a microscope. So this is the half if you haven't added black marker yet. And this is my half where I'm going to start. So here we go. I'm going to take a thinner marker or pen or whatever you want to use. And carefully, you don't need every single line. I'm going to slowly and carefully start outlining all of my paint drips. When you do this, it's going to give a really cool effect. Now, do you have to go over every single one? No. What if it overlaps over another color? Choose the one that you want outlined. Don't try to cover the colors. But anytime you see a flat edge or a rounded edge, maybe go ahead and add some black marker around it. You're kind of adding that idea of the same direction that your paint spread as you were blowing through your straw. And you're just going to follow that around. Now, like I said, could you add other fun patterns or designs on the inside? 100%. And that would be really, really cool. I have a good feeling about it. In some spots, like right here, you'll notice I didn't necessarily outline every single spot, but I did go ahead and kind of go around where I saw paint. Maybe I want to go right here. And this is the kind of thing that you'll kind of probably go back to multiple times. I would recommend not doing the marker until you are finished with all the paint. If your paint is wet, you may want to wait for it to dry. If you have a blow dryer, a hair dryer, you can speed the process up a little by blowing it dry, but you do need to be careful to because it can also spread the paint, okay? But in this case, we do want to spread the paint, so it really, I don't think it's going to mess it up. And if it did mess it up to what you wanted or what you were expecting, do it again because it's a fun thing. You can reuse your straw. As long as the straw is just your straw, you can reuse your straw. You don't want to be sharing a straw, of course. But if you have your own straw. Now, this reminds me of when I did that project with the third grade in my Chinese New Year lanterns. I actually had a student, I'm not going to name any names, but I know who it is, and I loved that he said this, but he said, "Hey, Ms.A, how come we're using plastic straws? I thought they're bad for the environment." And he's correct. They are. I love that. Love that. Even a third grader looking out for the earth. Good job, buddy. But I had so many in my classroom. I think they were donated. Some of them were, I think, there even before I was in that classroom, which is crazy. So I didn't go out and buy them. We had them. So I wish they weren't bad for the environment. I get it. They have paper straws now. You can use paper straws. If you have paper straws, go for it. But at school, you know, we're always on a budget, and we just happen to have those. So that's why we use them. But love you for looking out for Mother Nature and Mother Earth, because somebody's got to, but we all got to. We all have to, actually, people. Anyway, you can kind of see what's starting to happen, okay? Now, if you did just the germ one, where we just did germs, like here's my original example, remember? You made those kind of fun animated eyes and little eyebrows and little fun faces, and we spread and we added little tentacles just like germs would do. This is the one that I did with us right now. Looking good, looking nice. I even added the black marker around there. And don't forget, you can frame it with the black marker just because we can't mat them at home. If you're one of my, even if you're not older, but a lot of times my older ones might not want to have done the animated one. So they may have started, and I used only warm colors, okay? You can do any color scheme you like. Remember, color scheme are whatever colors you have in your paper. And this one is a little more like you're looking under the microscope at germs and spreading. But it's really fun for art because, of course, all of the colors blend, and you're going to see some yellow and my orange, or the pink, the magenta and the hot pink blended with the orange. Love that color scheme together. Looking good. And then I started taking the black marker once it was dry and outlining around. And just like that one lesson we did 2 weeks ago, you could make this a cover for a cool sketchbook or gratitude journal and staple some paper on the inside. We did something like that a couple weeks ago with a different style of art. But that could be something, or it can be its own piece of art. And don't forget, you can add little Zentangles or patterns and designs in that negative white space and even add more. I'm going to leave mine white because I kind of like the contrast with the white negative space, but totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera, okay? So remember, be careful so you don't get dizzy, guys, okay? Glad you're all here joining me. I'm going to keep going. Okay, let's see. I didn't drop the camera. Things are happening, people. The sun's out. It's great. Oh, someone's saying hello. What's, well, I don't know what Caroline's saying. Caroline, I wasn't reading all the stuff, so I'm not sure if it's just a conversation between you girls or if it's something I'm supposed to answer. If it is, make sure that you email me, have your family email me so that I can answer the question for you. But today, remember, we talked about, and remember, I wasn't going to do anything with germs or masks or all of this stuff that we're doing. I'm trying to keep our mind somewhere else, somewhere more positive and creative. But since I saw this lesson from someone else, and I wish I could give you a shout out, whoever you are, I can't remember, but a shout out to the creative teacher who thought of this idea. But I love it. And so we just did some germs today. We spread them. We added little tentacles, fun faces, framed out our work. You could have used a color scheme or just had fun with all different colors. Hopefully you definitely had some color blending or mixing. I love that. This is the one that we did right now that I just did in class. I just finished that one with you guys right now. It's looking good. Can't wait to see all of yours. And remember, some of you maybe didn't want that animated look, but you wanted still a beautiful piece of artwork with this same technique. So here I showed you where I just used warm colors, and I did the same thing. I just did little blobs of wet paint, wet watercolor around. And once it was dry, I was able to add fun little kind of contour, almost like outlines of the shape, contour, kind of broken contour line drawings around the outsides of these spreading germ blobs to create a beautiful piece of artwork. And don't forget, you can fill in those negative spaces with fun little Zentangles or patterns if you like to, or just leave it as is. So I hope you had fun. I'm so glad that we've been doing art together. I've loved doing it. I've loved seeing all your pictures, all your stuff. Make sure you post everything. You can hashtag it Art Class with Ms.A, ms.a. Now I'm going to archive the video again. Now Instagram last week on Friday, they updated their stuff. So now I'm able to just like upload it to archive it right to Instagram TV. So instead of it just being, hi Caroline, hi Timmy. Instead of it just being linked for 24 hours and then I post it on YouTube, you can also go right to my HGTV, or not HGTV, HGTV. That's so funny. I wish I was on HGTV. On my Instagram TV. But it will also be just in my on my Instagram, and you can click on it and rewatch anything if you want to watch it again or you need to go back. I love you too. I miss you too. And I'm glad you're all here. Have an awesome day. It's going to be sunny. We don't know how often the sun's coming out around here, so go outside. Have fun. Be safe. Miss you. See you Friday.